bring the breaking news as the surprises continue to unfold in the investigation of Russian meddling in the U.S. presidential election. Today we learned the Pentagon's Inspector General is now investigating President Trump's former national security advisor, retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Also today, House Democrats released documents they say raise serious questions about whether Flynn concealed receiving tens of thousands of dollars in payments from Russia and Turkey. Let's get the insights of our experts. And Phil Mudd, the DIA, we are now told, specifically told General Flynn he could not accept any sort of consulting fees, gifts, travel expenses, honoraria, or salary from any foreign government. It sounds like he did take a lot of money from two foreign governments, indirectly maybe, but still from foreign governments, Russia and Turkey.
Yeah, that's right. Look at this. The net is tightening, and at some point you got to feel bad for this man who did his service to the country. The FBI's got the legal piece. He's got tremendous legal jeopardy. The Congress obviously is going to hammer him in hearings. Let's look at one angle we haven't discussed, the financial piece. When you leave government, as I did, one of your questions is, how do I make a second income? Two implications of what we're seeing from the Defense Intelligence Agency today. Number one, you got to believe he's not going to have a security clearance in the future. His ability to make a living in the secure world is going to disappear. Over time, too, the Defense Intelligence Agency is going to say, your future in terms of consulting on contracts we have, all disappearing. So I think you've got a financial implication that will affect him. And before I forget, there's one other piece of this. Somebody's going to have a question about his pension. Somebody at the Department of Defense, and this is going to go up to the Secretary of Defense, is going to say, do we owe him his full pension or should he be re-ratcheted back? So in addition to the legal piece, I think there's a financial jeopardy he faces here, Wolf.
But he potentially, Mark Preston, has bigger problems than his pension if he's being investigated now, potentially for a felony.
Right, and there are multiple investigations going on right now. Look, he could go to jail. I mean, the bottom line is we don't know. We'll let the investigations move forward, but he could end up in jail. But to Phil's point, his reputation's been destroyed. You know, he spent 33 years in the service, a three-star general. Not very many people make it to that level. And quite frankly, the earning potential, as Phil says, is gigantic when you reach that level. Who wants to hire him, even if he's cleared, Wolf? Who wants to hire him now after going through all of this?
The top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Elijah Cummings, Rebecca, says, I honestly don't understand why the White House is covering up for Michael Flynn. This is a serious problem for the White House, for the president who named him his national security advisor.
Well, right. So the reason the White House gave for not responding fully to the documents request from the Oversight Committee, from Cummings and from Chaffetz, they say it was because some of the documents they requested would have had classified, confidential, sensitive information even in them, and that was their rationale. And then Sean Spicer added that they didn't think his call logs at the White House while employed by the president were relevant to this investigation. So they're making that judgment call. That's their right to do so, but it does raise suspicions about why isn't the White House cooperating fully with this oversight investigation? What are they hiding from the public or from Congress about Mike Flynn? And they're not really giving us any answers to those questions at this point.
You know, Phil, the White House, we heard from Sean Spicer, the presser, he's blaming the Obama administration. General Flynn, he went to Moscow in 2015, but in 2016, during the years of the Obama administration, his security clearances were renewed. So you got a problem, go blame the Obama administration.
Look, there's three people at fault here. Forget about Obama, forget about Trump. The first responsibility, and I went through this confirmation process. It wasn't a confirmation process for Flynn, but there's got to be a process to go on the national security team for the president. The first responsibility is for him to declare what he did. It's not clear that happened. The second, you're right, is for the Defense Intelligence Agency, and they've got some questions to answer to secure somebody's clearances over time. Is he recertifying that he's not taking money from foreign governments? This was public knowledge. They didn't know, but time out. The NFL ain't till August, but I'm throwing a penalty flag. For the White House to say we don't have anything to offer on whether we vetted him for a top secret job is a little bit disingenuous. They got to have some documents for how we got into this position.
Or they're saying they have documents, but they just don't want to hand them over. Right. They think that they have reason to withhold them. I think congressional lawmakers are sending signals that they don't have reason to withhold these documents.
All right, everybody stand by. There's a lot more we need to assess and discuss. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.